Hi guys, it's Thelightchrissy here, and I'm here to do a timeless love reading for the sign of Scorpio. So if you're a Scorpio, Sun, Moon, and Rising, this is a reading for you. Keep in mind that this is a timeless reading, so the events of this reading could have already happened. They could be currently happening, or they could happen in the near or distant future. So whenever you're finding this reading, it's the perfect time for you to receive it. Thank you guys so much for watching my channel. Please go ahead and click that subscribe button. Comment on this video if it resonates with you. Like this video. I'm also available for one-on-one readings if you would like that. That information is located down below, as well as the information on how to donate to my channel. Please realize that every reading possibly can't fit for every single person, but do take what resonates and leave the rest behind. I call it in divine with love and light, and I call it in the 4 archangels in the 4 corners of the world, and the 6 elements: air, earth, water, fire, spirit, and ether, to give us a clear and accurate love reading for the sign of Scorpio today. Show us anything that they need to see to put them on their highest path, anything that they need to reveal, or any information about any other parties involved in their love life. I call in their spirits and their angel guides to go ahead and show me any messages that need to be revealed to them to put them on their highest path in love. Okay, so here we go, Scorpio. We're starting out with the Believe and Succeed, which is the 6 of Wands, and the Just Breathe card, which is the 4 of Swords. There's this need to understand that you win when you go within. Okay, and this is with anything. Okay, there's this thing that you guys have this you have such this super intense emotional power that you are so used to because you come from the 5 of Wands, there's this inner conflict that you battle it more than you know how to use it outside of yourself, if that makes any sense. So this is like where we're starting to experience that we can kind of, oh wow, I'm sorry, or stupid. I can use my abilities in ways that that support where I want to go. They don't just have to be used to kind of like control it. I can definitely be in a peaceful state in place whenever I exude my energy towards my manifestations, especially as they pertain to love. Okay, and the only way to be able to get there is through this balance. Sorry guys, need to take care of something. Give me 1 second, peeps. All right. Yeah, there's just this thing that you're coming into where you see that you can kind of create, you can kind of use that not so abrasively as it pertains to other people. So it's a very, very good thing that I see that you're kind of starting to be able to find your happy place or your calm place, that you can make a little bit more sound decisions in love. So this could be where when we kind of blow up or kind of lose our cool, we're finally starting to get over that hump to where we can kind of be be sound enough to not let that aggression just kind of whoosh out all at one time. If something kind of doesn't pan out the way that we want it to pan out in love. Okay, because I kind of can see that being a thing for some of you singles. I can see this. It's kind of like the same thing I was saying about was it Cancer in the reading. You guys have these you water signs have this beautiful emotional debt that if you ever wanted to use the force of that in your life to kind of like, to shake things up, you really definitely could do that. And you definitely you guys do it if you know it or not. That's just, it's not that you're trying to, it's just that's just natural. Of course you would use that, that's something that you're skilled in. Just like a Taurus is skilled in force and standing firm in something, and then it turns into being a little stagnant or maybe stubborn when we need to, but sometimes they can work out in your favor if you can stay fixed on something. So those aren't bad things about yourself. Those are things to love, but it's just that you have to learn how to operate those abilities in your favor, and not to let them kind of hurt where you're going. Okay, to like navigate what the northern light is in your like where you're going. Don't let them, you have the ultimate navigation to succeed, and you have control over that. Okay, sometimes you just have to breathe things out, okay, so that you can say what it is that you need to say or communicate, and you can actually feel what it is that the other person is saying, and not just hear them, but you're actually feeling it, and you're kind of seeing where they want to go. You can kind of put yourself in other people's shoes a little bit better. I think that that's something that's definitely happening for you. In the thing of in the place of what we have as that can be holding us back, we have the the Knight of Wands, and that's definitely that that aggressive energy I was talking about. It's not really aggressive like you're mean or anything. I just think that everybody has these type of reactions to certain things. Yours is a little bit more action-packed. Mars being one of your is Mars one of your Mars is your ruling planet? I think Mars is your ruling planet, to be honest. It's your planet and Aries planet. It's your co-rule. I think it's your co-ruling planet. But it definitely gives that aggressive punch, you know, and it's with you being so emotional, it can get people in that kind of way and catch people a little bit off guard, okay? This is once again and the thing that's supporting you. For those of you in relationships, you're starting to open up your hand to be able to allow other people into that space. And it's kind of funny how you got those hands right here like this, and then you got this person right here on Just Breathe putting their hands together like that. It's that touching another person's, you can use that ability for your good, the emotional depth for your good, because you can tap into what other people have going on inside of them emotionally, and you can kind of you can be able to kind of see what their true intent behind the things that they do, instead of, you know, going off of the feeling that you have to, where you just kind of just act, you know, and not kind of like consult this system that you have. Like, it's almost like you have like a GPS system, a navigation system like that right there. And you kind of don't, you know, it's like almost like this person is navigating here. Success is what makes you navigate there, okay? And it's deep within you. So whenever you feel or you hear things that are not in line with it, you'll know, you know, if you go to it. There's no need to, you don't have to like make it a firestorm, you know, with the person. So this is where we're picking and choosing our battles, where someone is like telling us, I see it where a person is like kind of saying they didn't mean something in a certain way. And they probably didn't, but it may hurt you. And if you take in and you kind of address why it makes you hurt, and you don't kind of run from it here with the Knight of Wands, and you sit in it, you can get everything that you need to be able to kind of sort out what people really meant and what they didn't mean, and also not just what they meant, but how you guys can coordinate a little bit better together collectively. You're able to sort through their emotions to see what they meant, even when they were angry, that, oh, they didn't really mean that. They just were saying that out of anger. You can kind of feel it. And that's your advantage in this. Don't give in to it, because you have that knowledge here. And the things that are helping us is definitely they're going within and choosing in a different direction with the Four of Swords. That's all about that rest and that meditation, to be able to make better decisions, to choose a different path and a better path. So totally good to have here, because you are going within, especially with that third eye right there. You're kind of going in to be able to be led by that, instead of just reacting and maybe cutting off, you know, not cutting off things prematurely, but missing out on the being so, like, having so much emotional cloudiness within yourself that you kind of maybe, you know, a little bit you kind of forget that other people have feelings as well. See, like, this is a Knight of Swords. This is rushing, you know, like rushing in, that kind of that feeling. It's the same thing as like the Knight of Wands. It's this rushing in feeling without really, especially with words and things like that with the Knight of Swords, okay? Kind of like rushing into that. So if you're in relationships, it could be that you kind of go off really quick. You go off really quick. Or if you're dating, this is where you go off really quick. Again, this is where you go off really quick, or you don't quite give people a chance, because you feel like they don't have the emotional capacity that you, not that you think. What would it be? It's not that you think that they would have. It's that you're not taking into account their own emotional intelligence as well, you know, because you're not feeling it out. And it's like something that you have to kind of like, you have to feel through it. It's not something that you can think or have like a game plan for. You kind of have to feel that for the person. You can't like, you have to, that's human connection. Like, see, you know, tapping into, is this person lying to me? Does this person really mean this? Does their things line? Did they really mean this? Are they just saying, but it doesn't just work whenever it's bad. It also works in times when they may be telling the truth, and they may really be sorry about something, and they really may have not meant to do something, and it really may have just been an oversight and things like that, you know? So you have to be willing to accept it in all kind of ways, not just the ways that kind of are beneficial, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, with this relationship, with this thing, I kind of see you as running for the hills. Like, no, I'm not going to do that. Staying single because you don't understand emotion yet. You don't understand the emotions the way that I do. I know all about that. You don't get it yet. So you don't get me. Ha 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 ha. That's kind of what I see. Moving on for you singles, okay? But I do see you being very nurturing and caring about and being very caring and understanding that other people have their rivers that flow through them and their emotions and their things that make them happy and that they're warm about as well. And this is where you kind of start to feel them out. I think with this, the thing that's in your favor or the thing that helps us out here, with it being the Two of Cups and the Empress, you're definitely in a place to where you're starting to love on yourself a lot more. And as you do that, you'll start to see the good in people first, and eventually you'll start to understand the bad, and you kind of transmute that to good as well. So it kind of opens up things for you with yourself, but also with other people as well. You see? Because when you see that, when you acknowledge that part of yourself that's not really seen, that's kind of in the dark, you are able to kind of start to see experiences in your life that are a little bit more where you're at. So you challenge your shadow, then the people showing up in your life start to have been people who have challenged their shadow. So the work that you put in, you're starting to see back out. And I think that that's a perfect incentive to do it if you want a relationship. This is where it's saying you have to start with the relationship with yourself first. As good as you treat yourself with the Empress is as good of the relationship that you're going to get back. So if the question is, what if you have to question their motives and their emotions, maybe you're still kind of questioning your own in a sense. You see what I'm saying? For those of you who are in a relationship, this is like when you commit to a partner or something like that. This is where you have to be the person to be their pick me up and to be the one to, to have them after a long day and things like that. That's part of a relationship. Everybody's not equipped with the way that you are to kind of like to kind of handle those emotions or to know what to do with them. That's a super strength of you. And this is going to be something that you always provide for your partner. For those of you watching this today, that you're always going to be that one that gives that nurturing, that thing in relationships and stuff like that. It may not be, the other person may not ever be as emotionally intuitive as you are, or intelligent as you are. It doesn't mean that they're not emotionally intelligent. It just means that they may not do it the same way that you do it. Their system of dealing with their self with this 4 is a lot different than your system of dealing with yourself, okay? So this is where we understand that about people and understand that everyone kind of has their own stories and things like that, okay? And we work on creating what we want ours to be, as opposed to kind of directing how others, how it is for others. And you have like the 9 of Swords here in the conclusion. And I kind of see you coming out of this mental space once you change the thoughts. You change the thoughts of how you go about things. I feel like with this, I'm kind of trying to say, when you stop kind of like acting from that place that makes you just respond and react, you have less things to regret. That's what it is. And when you go within, I see you kind of forgiving yourself for some of this and choosing to just act differently. It's no better time than the present to correct something. So in your relationships, it's just like whenever you don't beat yourself up when things don't go right. I don't think that you do this externally. I think that this is something definitely that's done inward. But don't beat yourself up when you mess up on something. Just commit to doing it better the next day. So when you do something with a person, don't feel like it's the end of the world. And that person has to be able to understand all the same stuff I'm saying that you have to understand about them for you as well. And if the person doesn't line up, then that's not the person for you. Okay? But yeah, that's just kind of what I kind of see. There's this need to kind of step into yourself to know how to respond emotionally, because I think that with you, it's almost like when you get the partners, I can see you kind of, if you're single, where you kind of cut the person off and move on to the next, like with the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Wands and then the 4 of Cups right there. Like I'm not going to, like one explosion is just enough to where, okay, well, that's it for me. I'm done, Because you lack this intimate with, it's this thing that you kind of lack with being intimate with your emotions with other people, and maybe something kind of has stopped you from that, but it doesn't stop you from feeling those things. You get what I'm saying? So eventually it comes out, but it comes out in the form of this fire, which is the Knight of Wands, and you know, these sharp words and this sharp intellect, or pointed thoughts and things with the Nine of Swords and the Knight of Swords. You know, kind of puts you in that state. Let's see what the other person could possibly think about you. This is if you're in a relationship, if you're dealing with someone. Yeah, they see you as someone with that aggression for sure, with the sacral chakra. Definitely. That's how you gotta come it off to people or your person. But they also see it as you can pull yourself out of it. So they kind of feel like you lack emotional control. But they kind of feel like sometimes you can kind of manipulate a little bit. Okay? They feel like you can pull yourself out of this situation. This is someone who kind of wants more for you in terms of that part of yourself that kind of can act in that way. I think that they kind of expect more. I see them saying, this is like a person for some of you who this is for. It's like I feel like if someone is watching in on you, they're waiting for you to complete whatever it is that you need to complete. To get over that part so that they can be able to it can grow in another way. Okay. It's like where the person is wanting you to self-examine yourself, to go within, because they're like, you can figure it out if you go within. You can definitely do it. It's a lot more than I'm willing to give to this situation, and we can be, if you're with these two birds right here, if you go within yourself, this is going within yourself. This is going within yourself, okay? This is going within yourself. But it's not just going within yourself. It's what are you doing with that space? What are you manifesting when you go within? Is it more anxiety and dissatisfaction? Because you're kind of like in the emotions of this, you know, of whatever this is that brought you there, that you don't, you know, kind of like check in with yourself. But this is what that is right there. Is definitely checking in and making sure that you aren't like cutting people off too soon. And even if it doesn't have to be a deep relationship. It can be to where you making these kind of like decisions, or making these emotional, you don't even have to tell the other person, but where you're retaliating, because it's not always verbal. Sometimes it can be non-verbal. So it doesn't have to be that you're telling these people off. It doesn't have to be that. Maybe the response can be non-verbal, and that's just as, you know, as in serio. It's just as serious as the verbal communication. So this is where we kind of don't do that, you know, so that we can use that power to be able to get more of what we want, instead of using it to you know, burn down what it is that we don't want. All you have to do is just make another choice. Look at these cards that just came out here. As I was shuffling this is happiness in a relationship. This is the Ace of Wands up under here again. This is happy life. This is family life. For some of you, this is totally 100% marriage with these three cards that came out. You got the 10 of, you can look them up if you want to. You got the 10 of Cups. That's emotional fulfillment. You see this family here. You got the 10 of Cups. This is a family legacy, building something that's going to last. This is that new direction there that you're heading whenever you make that choice to do that. And then this is marriage. This is the celebration for it. This is all of that right there. Like, boom, boom. I couldn't have made that up. I couldn't even made that better. And that's not even just me capping. So that's not me just kind of like making up or anything or nothing like that. I definitely see that. But it's just like nipping in the bud, that emotional, that explosiveness, okay? TikTok, boom, you know? So, that is what I have for you guys. I guess I can pull a card from the Energy Oracle deck right here. That's all good stuff right there. Yeah, you got a thinking woman in the sixth chakra, Archangel Metatron. This is totally going within yourself, relying on your sixth sense when you're dealing with other people. You need to kind of strengthen it just a little bit. I think that if you didn't get so into your emotions, whenever people are given, when people do that to you, if you could turn it off for 5 minutes, you can kind of hear what it is, or you can feel what it is that they're really meaning. That way you can come out with a better result based on what you want to do. And if they do mean something that you don't like, you don't have to do it. You know, you don't have to agree to it. It doesn't mean that, you know, if you burn it down, you know, like, you don't have to destroy everything that doesn't work for you. That's what I mean. That's kind of what I want to say. You don't have to destroy everything that doesn't work, or every person like that. You don't have to destroy them in your mind. They can still exist there. They just don't have any power. You know, they're just left where they are with their decisions, going their path to make themselves happy for what they see for themselves, you know, and how they want that to manifest itself into their experience. But you can do the same thing for yourself. Okay? So you focus on that. And when you focus on doing that, that calmness brings about more calmness in your life. That relationship is matched. You see this 11, like it looks like 11. It's matched. It's back and forth, okay? And you kind of build yourself in a solidity of that with the 4 of Wands. Whenever you're able to commit to doing that, so that you can vibrate with, you can meet other people who vibrate on that level, or that your relationships and things can ascend to that level, or either fall away if you don't need them to be there. Okay, so that is what I have for you guys, Scorpio. Hope you guys enjoyed this reading. Please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Also, like I said, I'm available for personal readings. That information is down below. You can donate to my channel down below as well. There are more pick a card readings and timeless readings on my channel, so please be sure to check those out. Until next time, you guys have a great day, week, month, year, hour, minute, everything, and I will talk to you guys next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.